your name? Don't you play this game? You from another land, got you like it's contraband. Tell me what's your name? Don't you play this game? You from another land, got you like it's contraband.
What's up, guys? Keyshawn Uchiha here, back at you with another new alternate universe video. Now, this is going to be the last video for today, and also, I kind of wanted to make 3 videos for today because I don't know if I'm going to make another video for tomorrow, give or take, depends on the situation, but I'm just going to give y'all a 3rd video so y'all basically don't get bored. And also, y'all don't really have to hit a like goal for this. Let's get this up to like 10 or 20 likes, and I will make another part just to see. Actually, if y'all really want another part, let's get this up to like 60 likes, and then I'll actually make another part of this. And I'll do it this time because 60 likes, that takes a lot of people to do, so I'll actually do it. But other than do, make sure to hit that like button. And what is this about? Well, this is pretty much an idea that I kind of saw a what if video on of what if Naruto had hacks by Tails Sage, if I said his name right. Shout out to him. Also, I kind of want to make my own twist about this, and instead of like doing that whole Asuki, I'm just gonna make a whole entirely new one. And it's gonna be quite fun. Y'all gonna like this, trust me. But other ado, let's get this started. Pretty much how we're gonna start this off. Well, Nine Tails attacks. Everything happened the same, and Naruto will be born the same thing as usual, but something will be different about Naruto. Naruto hair will be like kind of greenish and have black tips at the end. And his eyes will be a little bit different. Like before Obito passed, he sees his son's eyes like has numbers, like digital numbers, like 0, 1, 9, like numbers going everywhere, like moving in his eyes, which Minato is very concerned of and not really, don't know what it says, but pretty much before he passed, he tells, Hiruzen to keep an extra eye on Naruto, make sure he's safe and all that stuff, but make sure to keep a, extra eye on him because he has a unique power or something of somewhat, as, Minato is saying that. This is where, of course, Kushina will say hard things, make sure he does this and that, the loving mom thing, and they both die. Now, before, they died, Naruto pretty much has his hands out and he touches both of them and he starts crying, because he doesn't know what's going on, but he feels sad. But what y'all didn't know is Naruto took copies of them, you could say. Took the genetics that copy. He basically pretty much kind of made a copy of them. I explain later, but he pretty much made a copy of them. But pretty much as they die, they fade off and stuff. Naruto is crying and stuff. But he instantly stops crying, you could say, of somewhat way. Now, this is where pretty much Hiruzen will pick up Naruto and, of course I'm going to give Naruto the 9 tails, and I'm going to give him half of it because it would just feel weird. I know how many people make Naruto not have the 9 tails, but this with the 9 tails, I'm going to make this a very OP one, and I'm going to give y'all a juicy 18x on this because it's been a while and I don't want to be losing my style. But let's continue. This is where we're going to have Naruto be a little bit older, and we're going to start off with the age of when he was defending Hinata. Now, this Naruto would of course be a little bit different as our original counterpart. This Naruto will be equally amount intelligent, very intelligent from his age, like a prodigy, you could say, a genius at his way. So he's much more different. And of course, Danzo will learn up the secret that Naruto's a 9-tailed demon, that was still inside of him. Of course, everybody will hate him, but Naruto really don't care about the villagers. He, for some type of way, he just doesn't really care. He just feels that he knows he's powerful than them, but he doesn't know how. He just feels it. So he doesn't pity them. He doesn't like envy them or anything. He just don't care. He's like, all right. In his young age, keep in mind. This is where he's pretty much walking in the snow and stuff, and he's like walking back home, pretty relaxed. This is where he hears a girl screaming, a girl crying, and he pretty much looks and he's like, doesn't know he's not his business, but he just wants to see what's the hell going on. And he sees a girl getting bullied. And of course, this is Hinata Hyuga, you could say. Now, this is where one of the bullies, is calling her a freak and stuff, saying, like, y'all Hyugas are just freaks with those weird eyes. Y'all look like ghosts and stuff. Talking on his shit and stuff, right? This is where Naruto, of course, will come in. And pretty much throw a snowball right at the bully's face and throw a snowball at the other ones, and pretty much will look at them and say, y'all know bullying the Hyuga acts for death, right? Which pretty much the bullies will say what you say and pretty much will come up to him and try to attack him. This is where one of the bullies will grab Naruto and lifts him up, and pretty much the bully will say, you're gonna regret messing with us, right, kid? You nine-tailed demon. Which pretty much Naruto gets a little bit annoyed, but he just headsbutt him and makes him get off of him. And he pretty much just starts patting himself and saying, well, look like this is going to be a fun fight. Which pretty much, this is where Naruto will have his fight with them. And of course, since his age, he will get a little bit beat. But I should tell you this, as Naruto headbutted the kid, he made contact with him. And pretty much took his attributes from that bully. So he got a little bit taller without anyone noticing, except for Hinata. She noticed that Naruto got a little bit taller, for like the same size as that kid, and pretty much his strength. And Naruto did take hits, but he whooped the 3 kids' ass. This is where Naruto realized that his clothes doesn't fit him a little bit. It feels a little bit weird off of him. But this is where Hinata will come up to him and pretty much thank Naruto. Naruto pretty much smiles and says, no problem. Give her like a light smile and says, no problem. Anyways, I didn't want those kids to die anyways. I know your clan will kill them if anything got hurt on you, Hinata. Which pretty much he will send her off and they go on their separate ways. This is where Naruto, of course, will head home and he will look at his pants, and he realizes his pants doesn't fit him anymore. And he realized that his outfit is a little bit, doesn't fit him. He be curious at this part of what happened, and he starts to think that maybe touching that kid, he maybe, I don't know, somewhat took his genetics, or he doesn't know what happened, but he just knows that something had happened. And Naruto would think about this. Now let's just go a little bit on, and this is where I guess we can start on the anime, you could say. Now, this is where Naruto will grow up to an age, and I'm going to make him... I want to make this an 18X, so I'm going to make him at least like 16. That should be like appropriate age for like sex and stuff, so yeah, pretty much. I might not go in detail, but I will be adding sex scenes, and I might be adding sex scenes and stuff. But I will make this, alright? But pretty much, this is where Naruto will be like starting academy and stuff. Well, yeah, starting academy. And Naruto would be pretty much heading inside, and everybody would look at Naruto with a look. And this is where Naruto would be getting the stairs down, but Naruto doesn't really care, and he just starts really heading to his seat and stuff. This is where Ino and Sakura will fight over who should sit next to Sasuke, and Naruto pretty much goes sit right next to Sasuke, and pretty much Naruto will be like, yo, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, nice to meet you, which Sasuke will be giving the eyebrow. But of course Sasuke, clan didn't really, Sasuke clan didn't really die yet for specific reasons, so I say for this specific reason. So Sasuke, of course, will shake his hand, but we'll know about Naruto, but he wouldn't really care and just shake his hand. Which, this is where Naruto, will give will feel a little self of, goodness, and pretty much they will do their normal thing. Now, what Naruto didn't know, that since Naruto have hacks, Naruto can still or not still, actually have genetics in him, or should I say evolution genetics, which broken hacks you could say. So pretty much whoever he touch, he can steal their genetics, their height, their skill, and their talent, and also their genjutsus and stuff. So the genjutsu, dojutsus, kinki kinkai, anyone he touches or fight, or if he takes damage from them using a technique on him, or if his clones get hit by it, he can take it. He can pretty much take the genetics. Yes, Naruto will be this busted. If you want him to have any more stuff, please put it in the comment, and I will put it in the next part of the video. But let's continue. Pretty much, Naruto will shake Sasuke's hand, and pretty much Naruto will have his attributes about himself change differently as well. He will gain the same attributes as Sasuke. This is where Naruto will feel more stronger and stuff, but feels it, you know, feel it physically and mentally, which he feels it, you could say. But he doesn't know what it's. This is what he doesn't know about. But pretty much, it continued going. Now, this is where a couple days. Well, we're gonna say everything started, and the Uchiha massacre will happen as the same as was canon. And Sasuke will turn into emo phase and not fuck with anyone. Don't like you. Don't like you. Don't care about you. I don't care. And Naruto will hear about the Uchiha massacre, but he will just let Sasuke be his B because he knows how Sasuke will like actually, feel after losing everybody. So yeah. But we're going to, I guess, say a couple things, and nothing really happens except for like Naruto and Sasuke will be on the top of the class, merging together since Naruto, like I said, will be training, fighting with a lot of people and stuff, and getting hit, also evolving, and also having the Hex Evolution. And he doesn't. I should tell you he has another ability, but I will tell you later. Pretty much Naruto will also try and see what else he has because he knows he has some other unique abilities about himself, but he just doesn't know, which Naruto will be training himself, but also, be fighting with other people and talking to other people and beginning the attributes and the DNA and stuff, which Naruto has figured out that he can also, use dojutsus and stuff, such as the Byakugan and Sharingan, which he realized that he can also use the Byakugan and Sharingan in two different eyes. But they're different in a unique way, such as the Sharingan has the black thing, but it will have green dip. It wouldn't have like red dimples. It would just have what would the Sharingan be? Yeah, it would be red, but it would have green. No, it would be black and it would have green dimples, like have the three Tomoes, you could say. And for the Byakugan would be just as the same, but it would just like not have, instead of like having like all clear, it would just be like green, and it would be like green, and it would just like do the same Bianca like what a Byakugan would do. But pretty much as that's happening, Naruto wouldn't really tell anyone about this because Naruto will be so smart. He would just like be like, all right, I'm not gonna really hide. I'm not gonna really show my trap cards or trying to show off or anything. Naruto's gonna be like, when I do need to go all out, I would do it, but Naruto wouldn't really be showing off like that. He wouldn't even be telling anyone about his unique ability. But pretty much, as that's happening, pretty much we can get to, actually, let's get to the 18X part. I might as well start it off since he's like, I'll say he'd be 17 now. Actually, he'd be like 18. And I know the 2-year time skip, it will be kind of weird. Like, that means Naruto will be like an adult in the 2-year time skip, and that means he would be like doing tuning ninjas and stuff. But I want it to be like that for specific reasons because I said this is going to be an 18X. But let's get to the 18X part, pretty much. This is where Naruto will, let's say, he wouldn't have really a liking to Sakura because, like I said, Naruto's different now, but he will have a certain interest into, let's say, the Robin girl, you could say, from the Ichiro Ramen. This is where, as he's at the ramen place, he pretty much talks to Ichiro Ramen guy daughter, and she pretty much asks him, does he want to hang out, because pretty much she has free time and she wants to hang out with someone, which Naruto says yes because he has nothing else to do and he doesn't have anything else. So they start hanging out with each other. This is where pretty much Naruto will pretty much accidentally touch Ichiran guy daughter, and this is where one of his abilities will also tap in now, which this is where he will get access to her file. Which Naruto will say, "What the hell is this?" Which this is where he would notice that this is a hack file. Which the file will say, well, the system will basically show up and say, hacking system 120. Be like hacking system 120, kind of like that, and it would basically say like, it would give him options saying like edit. It would say edit, view, and like change. Well, actually no, not change, but like, or it would be like delete. Which Naruto will first look at the view, and he will look at all her attributes, what she's good at, what she's like, unique at and stuff. And as she's like, walking with Naruto, she's talking, and Naruto's like, pretending to listen, but he's also like looking at the thing and what he can do. This is where he pretty much looks at edit, and the pretty much edit shows what he can edit and like what he can change and stuff. Which this is where Naruto will first edit her chakra and boost it up. And this is where, the ramen girl will pretty much, feel a little dizzy and say, whoa, I feel like much stronger and stuff. Like I have a lot more chakra, which Naruto will say, huh, that's weird. Which Naruto is, editing her. This is where he will also edit unique body parts, where he pretty much says breast size, which he pretty much edit her breast size and make it a little bigger. And it starts to grow in front of him and her, which she's like, huh? And he's like, oh. And pretty much she's like, blushing, and Naruto's like saying, oh, my bad, which he looks away, which she's saying, no, it's perfectly fine, but she didn't know that that would happen. Which this is where Naruto will also see relationship status, and it will, and then also see like close friend, relative, and see all that stuff. This is where Naruto would change relationship status to his name to Naruto. Like he would like just change it in Naruto. And this is where, like relationship, love status, and all that stuff, and like sex partner. Naruto pretty much just like got curious and changed it to Naruto, and then all the rest of the attributes changed to Naruto. Like, and then for like the last edit, it would say like worship idol, and then Naruto just change it to his name, just to curious to see what happened. And this is where as he looks at the ramen girl. This is where the ramen girl is blushing, and then this is where she looks at Naruto, and she pretty much says, "Can we go back to your place?" Looking down, which Naruto says, "Yeah, sure." Naruto didn't pay too much mind of this, but I should probably explain what did Naruto do. So as Naruto was, testing out edit and stuff, and all that stuff, he pretty much edited out like worship idols and stuff. He changed his name to it, like instead of like Sage of Six Path or Roman, that he changed it to his name. Which this is where everything of the attributes pretty much changed to Naruto. So pretty much like giving up her body, having sex, or like love interest, it's all to Naruto. So everything like Naruto want her to do, she will eat kill for Naruto. That's how powerful Naruto can do it. So pretty much they go back to the house, and Naruto is pretty much sitting on the couch, and she pretty much says that she's going to make him some food. And Naruto says, "Oh, okay, that's fine by me." And Naruto just begins to chill. This is where pretty much she changed her whole outfit into like I'd say those outfits like only the cooking gown, but like nothing else. That's what she does. She pretty much does that without even hesitating. And Naruto's pretty much saying, and just relaxing. This is where she brings the food, and Naruto is, eating the food, and then she said, "How does it taste?" Which Naruto says, "Wow, this is actually good." And he looks at her, and he realized that she has nothing else on but the apron. Which pretty much this is where Naruto is like, "Oh shit!" Which this is where pretty much, well, pretty much Naruto says, where's your clothes at? Which pretty much she hops on top of Naruto and says that she can't get him out her mind. And pretty much this is where the 18X part happened. Now, this is where they start. This is where she starts, kissing up on Naruto's lips and stuff. And she starts, removing his clothes and stuff. And this is where Naruto's about to stop her. But this is where he's thinking, like, wait a minute. I'm about to lose my virginity. Which Naruto's thinking about this. And, Naruto, as his a little bit of his degenerate self, goes in on it. And, they was fooling around, you could say. Now, after all that, pretty much the Robin daughter is pretty much laying on Naruto on the couch. And Naruto pretty much gets back up. And he pretty much thinks maybe it has something to do with the edit and stuff. Now, this is where Naruto begins to think and says, this is kind of broken when I think about it. Which this is where Naruto can also look at her edit again and pretty much says, which he pretty much sees like all the things she can unlock, like such as like sensory and stuff. And Naruto says, what the hell? Since she helped me lose my virginity, I might as well make her powerful and OP. Which pretty much this is where he starts, editing her, giving her like stuff that ninjas supposed to have, like sensory and stuff, and he just makes her damn broken at the stop, broken up top, and he realized that he sees on the other side dojutsus, which it says none. This is where Naruto says, I wonder, can I give her one? And this is where he pretty much gives her the Sharn, like gives her, well, he pretty much just gives her the Biancagon, and pretty much as she's waking up, her eyes is much different. And Naruto's like saying, I can give people dojutsus and stuff. Holy shit. Which Naruto's thinking about this. This is where Naruto would be amazed and says, wow, this is quite broken. And this is where Naruto also sees and says, delete. I wonder where I can delete. This is where he pretty much just says, I tested it out another time. But this is where he see a little mouse crawling out the hole. And he looks at the mouse and he can see what he can do with the mouse. This is where he goes to delete. And this is where the attribute says delete arm, delete leg, delete brain, delete, like, what do you want to delete? Pretty much, it shows him what he can delete. This is where Naruto pretty much delete, like, the mouse's tail. And the mouse's tail just disappears. Begins to just disappear. And Naruto's like saying, holy shit. Which Naruto keeps his secret from now. This is where Naruto, of course, I can say it. Naruto, of course, will like just smile about this. Not in like an evil grin, but smile that he has an OP power. But this is where Naruto pretty much just like I say well, Naruto will pretty much just think about this. And the Robin girl will say, I see you're up. You want to have a round two? Which Naruto will not disagree on it and go for a round two. But the next day, Naruto will get dressed and stuff. And I should probably tell you what do Naruto look like with the drip. He gotta look like a drip. Naruto will pretty much look like he'll pretty much have like have the the shirt he was doing in the last fight with Sasuke. He will have the shirt thing, but he will have like a jacket. He will have a jacket, black jeans jacket, and he would just have the straight up ninja black sandals, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And Naruto hair will be, like I said, light green with black tips. And Naruto like his hair long, so he made it. He has it long. But pretty much Naruto would pretty much walk into class, and Naruto feels like $1 million after figuring out what he can do and stuff. And of course, Naruto will sit by Sasuke, and Sasuke, will be having a wide eye and seeing why Naruto's such an shellac move, but he wouldn't really care and just focus on the board. This is where Naruto will pretty much look at Sasuke, and he can edit Sasuke. He can see what Sasuke attributes are and stuff, but he pretty much just like say, at this point, I'm stronger than him, which he's thinking in his head, but he's pretty much saying, I'll just wait. Now, this is where pretty much I say the the test will come in, and pretty much Naruto would like, I mean, this is where they would have all their things doing and all that stuff, and this is where the final test will happen, and everybody does the test, and of course Naruto will pass it, because this is where Naruto will edit himself, and see that he sees that it's a Nine Tails inside of him, looking at his own profile, and the profile would say Naruto Uzumaki, and he will look at all his attributes, and he realized that there's his at his thing that he sees that Kurama is blocking his chakra thing, and he says Nine Tails Kurama, and then he pretty much focused on the view thing, and he sees that it's the 19 Katsuji and the seal, and he's like, oh, so he been blocking my chakra. He said, how about I just do it to him? Which this is where Naruto will do the reverse Uno card and then fuck up Kurama's chakra. So Kurama can't do anything. Now his chakra fucked up and he can't do nothing to Naruto pretty much. And Kurama can't break through the seal, can't break free. He can't do nothing because his chakra is interrupted by Naruto. So yeah, it's pretty much like, no, you don't have, now you can't use chakra and do anything right kind of way. But pretty much this is where Naruto will pass the Shadow Clone test with ease and pretty much will be higher of his class because he would put up his grades and stuff. I'm not saying he will go truly try hard and try to reach Rookie of the Year, but he will be tied with Sasuke, like I said. Pretty much this is where Naruto will, of course, walk away, walking out the academy and stuff. And this is where he will see Hinata, and he would run up to Hinata and say, hey, Hinata. Which Hinata would pretty much say, Naruto, which she'd be, blushing and stuff. Which this is where Naruto will, of course, look at her and see the view of what she got and stuff. And this is where he will also see that crush love interest Naruto Uzumaki, which Naruto says, oh, which this is where Naruto will look at her and says, hey, Hinata, do you have a crush on me? Which she will instantly blush red and say, who? Which Naruto will just say, calm down. If you have a crush on me, then I might as well should have like a crush on someone. Which Naruto would look at her and she would instantly pass out. Which Naruto would catch her and just like does a little laugh, little smirk of laugh. But he would like make a clone of himself and pretty much have the clone be on her lap so when she wakes up he can talk to her. But he starts heading home. As he's heading home, this is where pretty much he will overhear. He'll pretty much overhear um another teacher talking to a student saying, "You think that's the real test? That's not the real test. The real test is basically you have to steal the scroll ceiling and then you have to bring it to me, and then that's when you truly pass." Which of course the student will buy it and then will go do it. This is where Naruto will get intrigued and say, "Huh? So there's a traitor in the village. I see." Which this is where Naruto will follow the student, and pretty much he will knock out the student with a karate chop in the neck, and he will grab the scroll. This is where, as he pick up the scroll, this is where another of his ability will kick in, the third one, copy, and this is where he will see the option to copy it, and Naruto will look and says copy, and he will create a exact duplicate of the scroll, which he open it and all of it is the same. Which Naruto says, huh, interesting. Which pretty much this is where Naruto will, of course, put the real scroll back, and the copy of one, he will pretty much have an inventory system, and he would just put it in the inventory, and pretty much continue going. Now, this is where, of course, Naruto will meet up with Mitsuki, and pretty much will confront him, saying, hey, Mitsuki, so you're looking for this, right? Which Naruto will take out the scroll out of nowhere, and Mitsuki will say, so you heard about the test, the secret test. Which Naruto will laugh and say, secret test? More like bullshit. He was just trying to use that kid to get the scroll and leave. Which Mitsuki will say, like, okay, Nine-Tails Shinchuriki. Well, pretty much calling him the Nine-Tails Shinchuriki or the beast, you could say, which Naruto will not be phased by this and saying, I would be phased by that. Not that I already know, which Miski will, say shit and throw a giant shuriken at um Naruto. This is where Naruto will look at the shuriken and just like test out if he can delete it while it's flying to him, and he pretty much deletes it right in front of Miski, and Miski was like, "What? What the hell just happened?" This is where Naruto, of course, blitz Miski and punch him in the gut, and pretty much Miski will cough up some blood and saliva and get sent flying to a tree. Now this is where Naruto says, I wanted to try this out." And pretty much this is where Naruto begins to activate his Sharingan, his two tumbling Sharingans. He can control it. He can activate Byakugan in one eye and Sharingan in the other eye, or he can activate like Sharingan in two eyes or Byakugan in two eyes. He can edit himself, whatever he wants. Pretty much this is where Naruto will appear in front of Miski and begins to like put him under a genjutsu, because Naruto will edit out his perfection on the Sharingan. And he pretty much say, "Now speak." Which this is where, of course, Miski will speak out everything he knows, and he was going to betray the Leaf Village and go to Orochimaru. Which Naruto gets intrigued about Orochimaru and says, who is Orochimaru? Which, of course, Miski would talk about Orochimaru, that he, is a rogue ninja, and that he knows of. This is where Naruto says, okay. And pretty much Naruto would just cut Miski's throat, because Naruto wouldn't really bring him into the in the office or anything to like report about it. This is where Naruto would pretty much look at Miski's body and just like look at his body and just delete his whole body, pretty much erasing him from existence and stuff. I mean, he could recycle and bring back someone because he figured it out, but he wants to have Miski dead, so he just erased him, pretty much deleting him out of existence. Now, after that, pretty much Naruto would just walk home. But let's switch back to the clone of Naruto. Pretty much the clone of Naruto pretty much, Naruto clone would pretty much be, having Hinata like sleep on, like passed out on his lap, and she would pretty much wake up, and she would like be blushing, and Naruto would be like, "Yeah, you passed out. Morning, sleepyhead." Which pretty much he's about to like blush again and about to pass out. This is where Naruto pretty much, is talking to her and stuff, and this is where Naruto will, you know, view her whole thing. This is where pretty much he'll view all her stats and action points, and this is where Naruto will boost, like, some of them up, you could say, because he doesn't really have no beef with Hinata, and he does have a liking to Hinata because she was kind to him and thanking him. So he would boost her, physical and stuff, all like not all the way up to make her broken, but like in a good in the middle, all of them, and she just have to work on the rest by herself. And this is where he will also view her, thing. But this is where he will looks at reincarnation, and this is where he will see reincarnation of Kaguya, which Naruto was look and said, "Reincarnation of Kaguya? What is that?" Which this is where he would view it, and as he's viewing it, as Hinata's, trying to muster up the courage to talk to him, he will see that the whole backstory of Kaguya and how she was sealed away and stuff, and all that stuff. Which this is where Naruto did see his reincarnation, and Naruto really, read it and stuff, but he didn't know that much about it. But he knows that he's one of the reincarnation of first Hokage, and also of, which he had access to which he had access to pretty much gain them like their powers and stuff, what they have. But it's right now, like, how can I say this? It's downloading into him. So yeah, and it said it's gonna take like a couple of days to do. So yeah, he's not gonna be broken yet and busted, but it is gonna take a couple of days to all the stuff to download to him. But pretty much he reads the whole thing, and pretty much this is where Naruto says, this might be intriguing. Which pretty much this is where he Naruto will like do a transfer, and he will pretty much transfer it of the Kaguya, thing to him, and he would just do the downloading process so he can unlock the stuff too. But it says it's gonna take like 15 days for it to be done, which Naruto says, damn. But he says, all right. And it starts, downloading as well. This is where, Naruto, activate her thing and it starts downloading too. But it's not going to be activated for any time soon. But pretty much this is where Naruto would, talk to Hinata and stuff. And, he would like say, it's been a while since we haven't really talked like that and stuff. And she says, she starts saying, yeah, and they start, having a good time. This is where Naruto will pick her back up and says, well, it was nice talking to you. And they pretty much go in their separate ways. But Naruto clone pretty much just disperse as Hinata just leaves. Now, this is where Naruto's in his house and pretty much he goes to sleep. But this is where he meets Kurama much earlier as original canon. This is where, as he's looking around, this is where he sees the cage and he senses the nine tails. But he also sensed someone else there. And he pretty much says, I know you're there. Which Kurama doesn't say anything, but this is where Naruto will call out the sage of his past saying, hey, old man with the unique eyes, who are you? Which pretty much Naruto will already know who he is, but Naruto's not playing. He's gonna act like he doesn't know, which the sage of his past appears, which Kurama is also shocked and saying, old man, what are you doing here? Which this is where sage of his past saying, so you have noticed me. Well, Naruto, my son, which Naruto would know what he's talking about, but Naruto would play dumb and say, what are you talking about? I'm not your son. But who are you? Which Naruto is viewing the Sage of Six Path, and he's seeing his stats and stuff, and he realizes the Sage of Six Path stats is like off the roof, like higher than his stats. This is where his things say, would you like to, copy his stats and have the same thing? Would you like to have the Otsutsuki bloodline in him? Which Naruto has a bloodline stats too, which Naruto says yes, and this is where Naruto would say yes in his head, and we'll just do the yes, and pretty much the bloodline will take pronouncedly like 10 days for him to have it, which Naruto, is quiet about, and pretty much he looks at the Sage of Six Path eyes, and pretty much he copies them, and it's in his arsenal. But it's going to take a while for him to, use them. It takes it's going to take a while to use them. But pretty much, as he's talking to Sage Six Path, Sage Six Path pretty much talks to him and stuff and saying there's going to be a third deck. Kazu's going to get resurrected. And he pretty much don't have the power, but he knows he can do it. Which he pretty much says that he have intervened long enough and he's going to go. This is where Kurama will tell him to stop, which, Sage Six Path leaves. Which after talking to Naruto. This is where Naruto then again will look at Kurama and pretty much look at Kurama and look at his bloodline and see like Tail Beast. Which this is where, the system will say, would you like to have the also, Tail Beast power or bloodline in your arsenal? Which Naruto will of course click yes, and the Tail Beast will take 9 days to process, you could say. Now, this is where, of course, Naruto will talk to Kurama, sitting down, having a conversation with him and stuff and trying to get to know him. Kurama, of course, will try not to talk to Naruto and say that he doesn't talk to brats. Well, talk to press or humans. He doesn't like them. This is where Naruto will see Kurama's backstory and stuff and saying, so, you was controlled by Obito? Which he will see the truth because the system would tell out all truth, not lies or anything. And he was saying, what? No, I was controlled by Madara, which Kurama would then shut up again, not trying to explain anything, which Naruto says, nah, it says here that you was controlled by Obito Uchiha, and pretty much you killed Minato and Kushina, and then he will also read the last name, and he says, my name is Uzumaki, so but you killed my mom and dad, but you really didn't do it, you was mind controlled by Obito, which Kurama, then, start talking to Naruto and saying, yeah, and, explain the whole sister ordeal and stuff. And, Naruto will somewhat make a little bit of a talking to, no, they will have a little bit of a talking thing, conversation, but not as like a trust thing, because Kurama doesn't trust Naruto because he doesn't trust any humans, because he would think that, Naruto would just use him and stuff. And plus Kurama wants to take over Naruto's body. But Naruto will of course know that Kurama is, a little bit snuffy and stuff, but Naruto would be like, okay. And he'll pretty much just like say, well, I'll be going. And Naruto will wake up to the next day. Now the next day, this is where the teams will get assigned, and all the teams go the same, including with Team 7. Sasuke, Sakura, Haruno, and Naruto Uzumaki. Now, this is where, as everybody else Shoshaku picked them up, this is where they're the only team by themselves. This is where Naruto is pretty much sitting there, well, pretty much just like relaxing, not really caring, and just, falling asleep, because nothing can really, bother him. And Sakura is trying to, build up the courage to talk to Sasuke, and Sasuke is getting annoyed and, not talking to her and stuff, doing his own thing, until Sakura gets sad. This is where Naruto looks at pretty much Sakura Haruno, and he begins to start editing her. This is where he pretty much, edit her like hair. No, this is where he starts editing her and starts saying love interest. He starts doing this as a troll, because he doesn't like Sakura and he's annoyed of her talking. So he pretty much makes her, she needs glasses. He pretty much edits, like, does, like, not the worst, but like he edits her saying like she needs glasses. She also is like Sakura, which pretty much he copied her, copies Hinata's shyness and gave it to Sakura. So Sakura won't be able to talk to Sasuke or even make a word, because she would be, too enticed to. And pretty much she makes her she pretty much makes her into girls. Yeah, he can change their sexuality and stuff and make them who they like, per se. And he changed the gender into a female. So, and her love interest is Ino, her friend. So Sakura instantly stops talking and just like, blushing. Why? Because she's blushing for Ino. So yeah, Sasuke, would notice that Sakura stops trying to talk to him, and look at Naruto, and Naruto would just be like closing his eyes and just chilling. Not you doing nothing. Sasuke would get curious, but like I said, Sasuke will mind his own business. This is where, of course, Kakashi will cook. Sorry. This is where Kakashi will finally come in and look at the whole team. Now, Kakashi would be like, okay, which he would see like Sakura, like, pretty much can't see anything, and she pretty much says that she needs some glasses, which Naruto conveniently have glasses for her, and it's like big, wide nerd glasses, kind of like Orochimaru's servant. He has yeah, she has the same glasses like him, and pretty much yeah, and she pretty much is just like not, yeah, pretty much not talking. And he's like, okay, let's go. Now he tells everybody to meet up the rooftop. He does the same as Roger and Kaden, not telling them anything. This is where they start with Sakura. Sakura really has, like, she pretty much says that she likes a lot of things and she doesn't like a lot of things, and she says her love interest. And then she started blushing and saying like, "Oh, it's someone I really like as a close friend, and she's my best friend, and I just like her, like really like her." Which Kakashi is like looking, and then Naruto's like saying, "Are you done?" Which she says, "Yeah." Which she put her head down. Which this is where, of course, Sasuke will say his edgy shit as a original canon. Which this is where Naruto will get intrigued of what he really means. Which Naruto already knows, like Sasuke, because he had viewed Sasuke and stuff in his edit, but he doesn't like he didn't like that was before, you know, the Uchiha massacre, so he doesn't know who he means as killing, but he's intrigued, so he's gonna check out later. And this is where it goes to Naruto, and Naruto pretty much All right, let me stop. All right. Yeah, sorry, I was yawning too much, so I had to pause it for a little bit. But let's continue. Pretty much Naruto one. His is a little bit different. He pretty much says my goal, um, not nothing much, none of y'all business to be concerned of. My dislikes, and then he pretty much says my dream, my reality, eh. He just says and he just pretty much sits back down. Kakashi will give him the eyebrow, saying okay, and and Sasuke will also look at him with a weird look of hmm. And Sakura, she wouldn't really, Sakura will just be Sakura, try to like hate on Naruto or try to say something rude, but like I said, Naruto gave her like that whole Hinata shit, so she can't really do anything or say anything. But and he amplified it too, so pretty much she can't like try to talk shit to anyone up to say. But pretty much Kakashi would say tomorrow's gonna be a fail test. Don't eat or you're gonna really puke because I'm gonna make you puke. And he pretty much disperse. Naruto already like viewed Kakashi XP points, have like already like copied them and stuff, so he doesn't really need to touch them, but he can like copy them. So, and he also realized that Kakashi has a Sharingan in his eye, which he has also copied into his eye, his own. So now, he has the unique ability to do the combo and stuff, which Naruto knows how to do it, but he keeps it to himself. Now, Naruto is pretty much heading home, and we pretty much skip on to the next day, you could say. Well, let's not skip to the next day. Pretty much, when Naruto hit home, this is where the Ichiran daughter would come and knock on the door, having a meal for him, which Naruto will like smile and says, "Come on in," and then they will be fooling around into the nighttime. Now the next morning, Naruto will be heading, and Naruto will be pretty much heading in there, just relaxing and stuff, and they pretty much be waiting for Kakashi, and Naruto just be chilling and stuff, not really caring and stuff, and just waiting for Kakashi. Sasuke will, of course, in ritual get irritated with Kakashi, wasting time, and Sakura would just be thinking about and just be like, oh, I wonder what you're doing right now. Oh, and all that stuff. Pretty much. This is where Kakashi would come in, and Sasuke would say his original canon, "Do not waste my time." And he would say, "Oh, I'm sorry," making an excuse, saying I got lost in the road of life. And Naruto will already know what happened, and he would know that Kakashi went to a funeral graveyard site to visit his friends that died. Pretty much, Naruto will just they will all go to the field, and Kakashi would do the same thing and say the original canon. Sorry about that, but this is where he would say the original canon and saying, uh, if if the person who doesn't get the belt will get tied up and get sent back to the academy and will be available to eat. So pretty much, he says 3, 2, 1, go, and Kakashi put up his book, not taking him serious. And, Sakura and Sasuke scattered, but this is where Naruto will pretty much just be like, all right, I guess it's time to go serious. And he pretty much charges at Kakashi with immense speed, pretty much having Kakashi to put his book down. Well, having put down his book a little bit and see Naruto come at him with a great good speed and pretty much punches like Kakashi straight to the arm, and which Kakashi just barely blocks. This is where Kakashi gets flying back a little bit, and Kakashi gets back his footing and begins to put his book away and get a little bit more serious. This is where Naruto begins to activate his Sharingan just to flex a little bit, which Kakashi would notice, but will know the Sharingan looks a little bit different. And Sasuke will also know this too. And this is where Sasuke will get in a heated anger, trying to figure out how does he. Well, Sasuke wouldn't really get confused. No, Sasuke would get confused, but he will also feel like he will also want to know how does he have a Sharingan and why do they look like that. more than anger or anything. But more or less, this is where Naruto will jump up and shoot a fireball, like shoot a like the Uchiha style great fireball jutsu, and the fireball will be gigantic, and fire at Kakashi. And keep in mind, Naruto has a lot of chakra. Like he boosts his attribute stuff to have a lot of chakra. Not up to God, like the Sage of Shit's back, because he's waiting it for it to download to get this heretics, like the Osuki thing. But it's coming in. He has a lot of chakra, but pretty much he has a little bit more than his counterpart self in the original canon. This is where he shoots a fireball at Kakashi, like a massive fireball, which Kakashi of course will counter it out and shoot like a water wall, like summon a water wall to counter it, and it will somewhat counter it and create a lot of smoke. And Naruto will pretty much appear right behind Kakashi and says, "Right behind you," which Kakashi will instantly, try to hit Naruto, but Naruto pretty much dodged this hit and pretty much punched Kakashi in the stomach and pretty much kicks Kakashi in the leg. This is where Naruto will be beating the shit out of Kakashi, and Kakashi will start getting a little bit more serious and putting his footing, and begins to start blocking Naruto's attack more and begins to kick Naruto back. This is where Naruto will block his attack and pretty much do a backflip and say, "Are you going to get serious, Kakashi?" Which Kakashi begins to, lift up his headband and act and show the Sharingan, which Sasuke will like instantly see that Kakashi has a Sharingan, and this is where Sasuke will get pissed off and jump out and shoot like 3 fireballs at Kakashi. Well, 2 fireballs at Kakashi and charge at Kakashi, which Sasuke doesn't have his Sharingan yet. Well, he did activate it, but he doesn't know how to reactivate, you could say. But he pretty much charged at Kakashi with anger and trying to figure out how he has a Sharingan. And pretty much Sasuke and Naruto Sasuke will charge in and use some techniques and stuff in fights to try to fight with Kakashi. But Kakashi more than ever will just block Sasuke attacks and stuff and push Sasuke back. This is where Naruto will pick up Sasuke and ask if he's okay, which Sasuke will say, "Yeah, whatever, I don't care." Like, "Yeah, whatever," and pretty much get up. This is where Naruto would nod at Sasuke, and Sasuke would nod back at him, like kind of new characters, and charge it at Kakashi. This is where they will both work together using quite a little bit of good teamwork, and pretty much will push Kakashi back. This is where Sasuke will go for a flying kick at Kakashi, and Kakashi will like block the attack, but Sasuke will jump off of Kakashi and shoot a fireball, which Naruto will kick Kakashi back and shoot his fireball. Well, shoot water bullets at Kakashi, which Kakashi will have to dodge the fireball, but he will get hit by the water bullets. This is where Kakashi will get back up, but before then, this is where Sakura will pull her, last moment ditch ever, and grabs the bells and pretty much run back to Sasuke and Naruto. This is where Kakashi will, smack his face because he forgot about Sakura, and he'll pretty much say to his team that they have passed because they use teamwork, but he will also tell Sakura that she has to, work together with them to use more teamwork. Which Naruto will look at Sakura's stats and realize that if she's on the team, he's gonna have to boost her up. So he boosts her stats up. Well, no, he doesn't boost up her stats because he doesn't like her, but he does give her a trait called, evolution. Evolution. And what does evolution do? Basically, evolution can she can keep evolving by winning a battle, losing a battle, or just training, and it would just boost her stats up by like 20 times, kind of like that. So yeah, so Naruto only gave her that, but didn't boost up her attributes or anything. This is where pretty much Kakashi sits down, says that he needs to rest, and they all start laughing and having a good time. Kakashi says that they're going to rest for a couple days before they start doing missions, so use them wisely, which Naruto nod and they all go. Now, as Naruto's going, this is where Sasuke stops Naruto and asks Naruto how does he have the Sharingan and why is it like that. This is where Naruto looks at Sasuke and he pretty much looks around and he says, "You're talking to me?" Which Sasuke gets in an angry grudge and says, "Yes, tell me, how do you have the Sharingan and how do you activate Like, how do you have it activated all the way to the 3 Tamui? Which Naruto says, okay, since you ask, do you want to get stronger, Sasuke? And tell me. Which Sasuke will, of course, grudgingly say yes. And this is where Naruto will ask Sasuke the question, who are you trying to kill? Because I'm quite curious. Which this is where Sasuke would not tell Naruto, but eventually he would tell him and says, I want to kill my brother Itachi. He's the one who killed the Uchihas, and I want to avenge them and, do all that stuff. Which Naruto will look at Sasuke attribute and, backstory and stuff that it was changed, and he would say, okay, I help you get your Sharingan up to the top peak, and I might give you a little bit of a bonus, you could say, which Sasuke, nods, and Naruto tells him to follow him. And this is where Sasuke will follow Naruto back to the house. Now, as it's happening, this is where Naruto will open up the door, and the Robin daughter. This is not a ship. It's just that. It's just she's like, you already know. But pretty much, this is where Naruto will like open up the door, and the Robin daughter girl will pretty much hop on Naruto, and she doesn't have like nearly clothes on, like nearly as clothes on, and she's pretty much hugging Naruto, kissing him, and pretty much saying, Naruto, you're finally back. Which this is where Sasuke, of course, will be blushing and have his nose turn a little bit red and saying, oh my goodness. Which Naruto say, hey, we have a guest. Which she's saying, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Which she begins to like, put some clothes on, you could say, and begins to start cooking. This is where Naruto would pretty much, sit down next to Sasuke and pretty much tell Sasuke, so I'm going to tell you this one thing. You're going to be my right hand man, because I'm kind of thinking about doing something new here. Which Sasuke says, what do you mean new? Which Naruto says, I tell you maybe when it's the right time, but for now, I want you to be my right hand man. Would you be that? Which Sasuke would do a nod, and Naruto would say, okay, close your eyes. Which this is where Sasuke will close his eyes. This is where Naruto will give Sasuke, the right attributes that he has, and pretty much boost Sasuke Sharingan all the way up to its peak. And only Sasuke has to be the one to like unlock the Mogekyo and stuff by all that. But he boosted at its peak as like Naruto has. Like at the max of like Madara mastery of the Sharingan, you could say. And pretty much, boost up the rest of the stack. But pretty much Naruto wants to make sure Naruto is only loyal to him. He has switched, to like Lord and Savior and stuff and all that stuff, like as an idol to Naruto. So now Sasuke, like, pretty much look up to like Naruto as a brother, you could say, and also you could say worship him. But pretty much after all that, this is where Naruto tells Sasuke to open up his eyes, and Sasuke will look around and feel his hand and says, I don't feel anything, which Naruto says, try to activate your Sharingan, which Sasuke says, I don't know how, which Naruto says, think and focus, which this is where Sasuke will focus and he will activate his Sharingan. And this is where Naruto says, look, which this is where he will show the mirror, and Sasuke has his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Which Sasuke realized this, and he's like happy that he has a 3 Tomoe Sharingan and, impressed. This is where Sasuke asks how Naruto did it, how he gave him this power, which Naruto says, well, that I can't really tell you. But, just stick by me, and I promise you'll be strong enough to kill your brother. Which, this is where Sasuke will nod, and, this is where Sasuke will ask Naruto to, fight him. And this is where Naruto will say, okay, and they go in the back. Go to the back to train. Now, as they're training, this is where they will start sparring, and Sasuke will charge at Naruto, and Naruto will pretty much just like activate pretty much start blocking Sasuke back, like attacks, and pretty much kick Sasuke in the stomach and send him flying back. But this is where Sasuke says to like give me your full power, like fight me at your full power, which Naruto will say, "If I do that, Sasuke, you're going to get hurt really bad." Which this is where Sasuke says he doesn't care. Come at him, which Naruto says, "Okay." Which pretty much this is where Naruto will activate his eyes into the Renegade stage, which Sasuke will be like, What is this?" Which Naruto will be like, "Well, this is my full power, as of yet. I still have more, but it's taking time." Which this is where Naruto will again use the universe pull and pull Sasuke. This is where Sasuke would not know what the hell's going on in the confusion, but this is where he'll quickly use his mind and shoot a fireball at Naruto. This is where, of course, Naruto will be like, good thinking, and use the universe push to push the fireball away from him. This is where, as he's doing that, this is where Naruto will then, uses his hand, shoot missiles at Sasuke, and Sasuke would, adapt immediately since Sasuke is using the Sharingan at Madara's mastery level, so he's dodging the missiles, and then this is where of course Sasuke will use one of the missiles to ricochet. He will kick it and ricochet it back to Naruto, and Naruto will be like, huh. And this is where Naruto, of course, dodged the missile, and it will blow up a tree, which he hears a loud explosion, which Hiruzen will like, say what the hell is going on, because they hear a loud explosions and stuff. And Naruto will be like, okay, I think it's time to end this before suspicions happen. Which this is where Sasuke will say what? Which this is where Naruto will appear right behind Sasuke with great speed and karate chop him in the neck. This is where he will begins to pick up Sasuke and take him back to the house. As Sasuke wakes up, this is where Naruto will be pretty much eating his food, and Naruto will tell him to take a seat. There's a plate of food for him to eat too, which the Robin guy daughter will be pretty much at the table eating next to Naruto, and pretty much Naruto will be like, "All right, so how do you think?" Which Sasuke says, "This power, this strong power, I feel it." Which Naruto would be like, "Good. Now, for now, you're gonna train on your own. For me, I'm going to do some stuff." So Sasuke will, of course, nod, and he will eat his plate and get up and just go to his house. While Naruto will just pretty much eat some food and do his own thing. Now, for the next day, since they had a couple of days, pretty much Naruto will be going out the village. He will create a clone of himself that is like, physically himself. Actually, he will make a copy of himself, which he can do that now. And he'll pretty much leave the copy of himself at his house while he will go out to the village and do some secret things. This is where Naruto, of course, will make a disguise, and he will pretty much change his hair style into all black and pretty much make his pupils, different because he can disguise himself. And pretty much he will head off to another village. Now, this is where he would head to the Sand Village, and he will start looking around and stuff. And this is where he will, see a lot of stuff and see a lot of stuff. And this is where he will like, see Gar, and he will see Gar's attributes and stuff, and he will see his unique Kenki Kenkai or like sand release, and he will pretty much see that his bloodline has gold dust, and he'll pretty much say, "Huh, gold dust. I think I like that." Which this is where Naruto will do transport, and he will have the Kenki Kenkai of the gold dust, and pretty much we'll see that also. This is where Kurama will also call out to Naruto and tell Naruto that Shikaku is in that boy, which he would look and he was like say, "Oh, the one tail Shinchuriki, I see." Which this is where Naruto will see it also in the attribute, and he will pretty much just take the Shikaku attribute too, and he will pretty much just pretty much Naruto doesn't take like Shikaku's attribute for specific reason, but he would take his wind thing and his sand uniqueness, you could say, and he'll pretty much leave the village. This is where Naruto will start, with great speed, heading to other villages and finding the Chanchurikis and stuff, and he'd be like copying their attributes and what they have unique about themselves, and and starts going. Kurama's, trying to talk to Naruto and figure out what Naruto's doing, while he's just looking at other villages and stuff and checking them out. And Naruto just say some type of lie saying like, "Oh, I'm just trying to see like which village is, is the strongest, and like also if they're going to be like, basically attacking us or not, but it looking all fine." That's what, Naruto told Kurama, but that's not really true. That's not really true, guys. But pretty much this is where Naruto will eventually um meet up to the uh what would he eventually meet up to? Oh yeah. Sorry. This is where he will of course meet up into the Sound Village, not the Sound Village, the Water Village. No, Hidden Mist Village. And he will pretty much see the three tails Chinchuriki because he already saw the other tails Chinchurikis and stuff. And he will pretty much, and I know y'all thinking, wait, ain't the Chinchurikis would already get captured because the Koski will already start up the plan to hunt down like Chinchurikis and stuff. I'm going to pretty much should already told y'all that the Chinchurikis have not got captured yet. So Naruto is just, looking at all the Chinchurikis before they got captured and went missing and stuff. So he already, saw the Chinchurikis and stuff, and including Killer B and stuff, and he hit his pleasure because he had high, he can cancel out his chakra and stuff, so no one can sense him at all. To them, it's like a ghost. If he walked past anyone, it's like he was not there at all. So that's how powerful he is. But pretty much, he hits the head of mist and he looks, and he sees the attributes and stuff, and he's going into the library reading their books and stuff, and no one doesn't know he's really there. And he pretty much gets out of there, and I say those couple of days has passed. He pretty much leaves and heads back to his house, or yeah, he pretty much heads back to his house. This is where he deletes the copy of himself. Actually, no, he doesn't delete the copy of himself. He actually uses his copy self to like actually head out. So his copy self can actually be his second self to copy. I'm sorry, guys, I am back, but let's continue. This is where yeah, he sends his other copy of himself out to pretty much find Orochimaru. For a reason why? Um, well, to pretty much just copy his stuff because he wants to know what's so special about Orochimaru. Now, as that's happening, this is where Naruto will be in his house and stuff, and the day will finally come. Now, this is where, of course, Kakashi and them, they will all start doing, low missions and stuff, and Naruto wouldn't really care because right now he's getting a lot of information from his other clone, and I mean his other copy of himself, and pretty much realized that he also have met up with met up well have saw well pretty much have has pretty much found Orochimaru and stuff, and pretty much he'll pretty much meet up with Orochimaru and stuff. Well, find Orochimaru hideout by following one of his goons, and pretty much will copy like a lot of stuff, transfer it to him and stuff, and he will also find the Sound 4. This is where he will also copy the Sound 4 and stuff, and this is where he will pretty much get caught by Orochimaru. Now, Orochimaru will say, "Who are you?" And Orochimaru will, of course, Naruto wouldn't say anything and just like go for a fighting stance, to fight with Orochimaru. This is his copy self. Of course, this is where Orochimaru will send out the Sound 4. The Sound 4 will all come out and stuff, and Naruto will see like all of them and copy all their shit and just transfer all the shit to him, basically. And as that's happening, this is where the copy of Naruto will charge at Orochimaru, and all the Sound 4 will come in and attack Naruto and pretty much kill off Naruto's copy, which that's what Naruto wanted to happen. And this is where, the copy will become a bomb, will have a detonation, and pretty much starts blowing up like a loud explosion, which it was zero casualties, but Orochimaru hideout was pretty much fucked, and they all had to leave. But pretty much this is where Naruto is pretty much just, smiling, while Sasuke is asking what you're smiling about, and Naruto says, "Oh, nothing." And pretty much starts, continuing doing the things. Now, as that's all happening, this is where Sasuke will get, very angry and says that he would like a higher mission, telling Kakashi he wants a higher mission, and saying that this is beneath him. This is where, of course, Naruto will also agree with Sasuke, saying, "Yeah, we do need a higher mission, Kakashi. This is quite, not right at for our levels and stuff." And Sakura will, of course, like say something, but she would say, "Yeah, we need a higher mission." Which this is where Kakashi will say, "Okay," and pretty much he will go talk to Hiruzen about it, and Hiruzen, or of course, Hiruzen will like, you know, say some stuff, but he would say okay, and he would give him a seed mission. This is where he will bring in Tazuna, and Tazuna will of course look at, you know, the whole group and be drunk. But this is where he will look at Naruto, and Naruto is a little bit taller than the rest, and he will say, "So those two is going to protect me, and this one too." With his drunken state and stuff. This is where Naruto would look at Tazuna attributes, and also see like Tazuna is really like lying about this and stuff, and he's like, so this is really like a S mission, a much higher one. Okay, I keep it quiet. It should probably give Sasuke some experience, and also Sakura as well. Which this is where Naruto would be like, "Nice to meet you, Tazuna. We're gonna be to protecting you and keeping you safe." Which Naruto's giving out positive vibes, which Tazuna feels a little weirded out, including Sasuke, because Naruto doesn't really, be all friendly like that. He's more like chilled and calm. What's with the certain change? This is where, as they're like in the stuff pack, this is where I was there all walking. This is where Naruto would whisper to Sasuke, saying, "This is not really a C mission. This is a higher mission. Tazuna's lying to us." Which Sasuke would be like, "So he's lying to us? But this is the perfect opportunity to get your training and soccer." Which Sasuke would nod, and Kakashi didn't hear what Naruto was saying, but he would just, brush it off. This is where they would notice a puddle, and Sasuke would immediately notice that this is not right, and Naruto, and Sakura would have some sense and not be an idiot and notice that something's not right because it having for like rain for months and stuff. And this is where the two demon brothers will hop out. This is where Naruto will see their attribute points and stuff and see what juices they have and stuff. And Naruto will be like, "You want to handle this, Sasuke?" Which Sasuke would nod, and he pretty much charged at the demon brothers, pretty much just matching both of them and whooping their ass. Now after that, this is where pretty much what else? Sorry about that. This is where pretty much Naruto, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura will continue going and stuff. And this is where the whole frog will come in and stuff. And Naruto, with his switching to the Rinnegan, activating his Rinnegan, can see there's two presents and saying, "Okay, let's see how this plays out." Now this is where Kakashi will like tell everybody to duck, and everybody's ducking except for Naruto. He just moves out the way, and it hits the tree. This is where, of course, Zabuza will appear, and Naruto will instantly, view him and copy all his attributes and stuff, and take all his stuff and transfer it all to him. This is where Naruto would boost Zabuza attributes up a little bit, so Sasuke and Sakura would have a fight, like get better at their stuff. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. But pretty much this is where Naruto will give Zabuza an extra boost just to like help Sasuke and Sakura out, you could say. Now, this is where of course Kakashi will tell everybody to back up, and he will get this. This is where Naruto will see Kakashi will fight Zabuza, and Zabuza will be a little bit more stronger, the original canon, and Kakashi will have to like actually like get a little bit more serious. This is where of course he would get trapped in the water prison a little bit more faster, and pretty much this is where it has to be relied on Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura. This is where Naruto tells Sakura to defend Tazuna, while Sasuke and Naruto work together. This is where Naruto will create two clones, and pretty much Naruto would just create like a bunch of clones just to block Tazuna, so Tazuna won't die, and tell Sasuke to figure out how to get Kakashi out. This is where Sasuke will activate his three Tomoe and charge at Zabuza. Now Zabuza will of course have his water clones, and Naruto will just destroy his water clone, one of his water clones, and have Sasuke fight the other water clone. This is where Sasuke would have the combat to fight the water clone and pretty much dispatch of it. This is where of course Sasuke will shoot a fireball at Zabuza, and Zabuza of course will have to dodge out the way, letting go Kakashi. This is where, of course, everything will happen the same. Kakashi will get all serious and shit and absolutely almost clown the shit out of Zabuza if Naruto hadn't boosted him. But pretty much after the whole fight, this is where Haku will come in, pretty much hitting Zabuza in the neck and pretty much dispatching him. And I'm gonna make Haku grow just for specific reasons. Don't judge, because I know y'all will want that to happen too. But let's continue. Pretty much, this is where Haku would pretty much say that it's here to get the body and stuff, and Naruto will already know Haku working for him, but like I said, Naruto will keep quiet for specific reasons. This is where pretty much Haku will make a copy of Haku for specific reasons, and pretty much let Haku go. Now, this is where pretty much he will copy Zabuza and make 2 copies of them, making the original them. So basically, he can make copies of people, and they will be like kind of like doppelgangers. They would be the same, have the same memories and everything. They're basically the same, but they're copies, like doppelgangers, you could say. But pretty much he would make 2 copies of them, and he would just let them go. Now, after that, he already copied, took, all the stuff from Haku and stuff, attributes and stuff, including the Ice Kinky Kenkai. And he would look at Sasuke and give Sasuke the Ice Kinky Kenkai for specific reasons. And they will pretty much start going on. Now, this is where Naruto would tell Sasuke that he has a Kinky Kenkai, which Sasuke will say, what is it? Which Naruto will say that it's the same as that person, Ice. And maybe it should be fun to test out if he can utilize it to use on his brother or to get stronger. Which pretty much, this is where Sasuke will agree, and they will pretty much head to Tazuna house. Now, this is part 1 of what if Naruto had hacks. Well, hacks, or was a hacker, or hacks, you could say. Or probably just say he was a hacker. If you like, leave a like. Let's get this up to 60 likes, and I'll do another part 2. But, I'm Keisha Chia. Thanks for watching, and peace out.
It looks like you lost another one.